Hello, growth-minded friends. Dr. Amanda Barrientos here with ABI Coaching. This is your place where I teach actionable strategies to help you max your potential. Why does maxing your potential matter? I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and really why it matters is because I think everyone wants to make a difference in the world. So if you learn strategies to max your potential, then you can have a massive impact on the world through being empowered yourself. And I teach people, clients, in all my content that I create in coaching. These videos are based around 3 essential foundational pillars that I call your max potential pillars. And these are personal power, connected relationships, and mastering your money mindset. Last week, I talked about personal power. This week, I want to talk about a specific topic about connected relationships. And this one has to do with, are you feeling undervalued in relationships? The reason I want to talk about this is because it's something that I used to seriously struggle with. I constantly undervalued myself and felt resentful, like other people were better than me, but then that I didn't get what I needed or wanted because I didn't know how to speak up. It showed up in a lot of different ways that we'll talk about in a few minutes, and it's also one of the topics that most of my clients bring up in my coaching sessions with them. And it shows up in various ways. It could be in intimate relationships, it could be at work, it could be with your kids, it could be with your friendships. There's this problem of feeling undervalued, and really what it's rooted in is that you're holding yourself in the pit and the other people around you on a pedestal. So this is a Dr. Demartini philosophy. He's my mentor and I have different certifications from him. And this way of thinking has to do with realizing that we all have equal value and it shows up differently in the world. So if you don't own your value, you're going to tend to devalue yourself and overvalue others. You're going to put yourself in the pit and other people on a pedestal. And this pedestal looks like you thinking you're the underdog and they're the overdog, which gives them the unequal power distribution in a relationship. So this, let's say in an intimate partnership, this could show up as you not stating your needs, which unspoken expectations lead to resentment. So if you're feeling resentful of someone around you, it's because you haven't spoken up about your needs. So that takes you valuing yourself. First, you have to have self-confidence. You have to know, love, and trust yourself. And like I said last week, you're never all the way there. You're never going to absolutely have 100% self-confidence, but being on the path and having it be in process is going to help you value yourself more and hold yourself in an equal exchange. So there is a philosophy that there needs to be equal exchange. It's the law of equivalent exchange. And anytime that's out of balance, you're going to feel undervalued. Or if you're overvaluing yourself and undervaluing someone else, they're going to end up resenting you. So to have win-win collaborations, which matters for every type of relationship, with your team members, with your kids, with your colleagues, with your friends, with your partner, you've got to balance the equation by valuing yourself more. So to create connected relationships where you're not feeling resentful of the people around you, minimizing your voice, playing small, not charging what you're worth, taking jobs that you know that you can do better and earn more, serve more, be more, have more, because you don't value yourself enough. So it's critically important, if you want to have connected relationships, that you learn to develop, cultivate, nurture, foster your self-confidence. You've got to learn about yourself. You've got to know yourself. You've got to trust yourself. You've got to have an I can figure it out attitude. And this gives you the ability to step into relationships in a balanced way where you see your self-worth, you see what you can bring to the table, and you ask people to bring an equivalent exchange to the table. You ask your partner to balance the equation. You ask your job to get paid what you're worth. You create a company where you're not undercharging and devaluing yourself. You can see how this shows up in every relationship. So for your action step today, I want you to do some journaling. And in this journaling, I want you to start to ask yourself, Where in my relationships do I feel undervalued? Is it in my intimate relationships, with my colleagues? Maybe it's with parenting. Maybe you're trying to be too nice and you're not setting boundaries with your kids. Or maybe you're afraid that they won't love you, so you overly please. It could be that you're a people pleaser in other types of relationships. So I really just want you to start thinking about where you undervalue yourself. And the clue for knowing where you undervalue yourself is if you have resentful moments where you're thinking about feeling less than, you're feeling jealous, you're feeling angry. Those are some clues as to where you might be undervaluing yourself in different types of relationships. And then I want you to start to imagine in your journaling the second question about what can I do to create a more powerful me. So work on personal power and self-confidence. It could be books, workshops, coaching, podcasts, YouTube videos, anything that's going to help you start to establish and foster personal power, self-confidence. And then I want you also to think about connected relationships. We don't learn connected relationships in school. It's not something that's taught, even though it's a foundational skill that we must know in order to have a thriving life, because the quality of our relationships determines the quality of our life. If we're isolated and feeling alone, we suffer. There is a ton of scientific evidence that talks about what the detrimental outcomes are for people who feel isolated and lonely. So connected relationships are critical. So develop the skills. If you didn't learn it in school and you didn't learn it in your family, you need to learn it now. Take charge of your life and your outcome and your reality. You can do it. So I want you to journal today. Think about where you devalue yourself and think about ways that you can start to transform your reality through personal power and self-confidence and learning relationship skills. Just start to brainstorm ways you can come up with. If you don't have a lot of money, start at the library. If you have lots of money and you're suffering in this area, pay for a coach, go to a course. There's tons of available resources. Just don't hold yourself back anymore thinking that you're stuck and you can't change this reality. You can, I promise. I've done it. My clients are doing it. I know you can do it too. All right, that's all I've got for you today, but get inspired to do whatever it takes to transform into the most empowered version of yourself so you can lead a rich, thriving, kick-ass life and business that has the power to make a massive difference in the world. I'll be back next week with another Max Potential tip.